Hey everybody, it's PoliTarology. Believe it or not, it's a Friday night. I know with the holiday coming right in the middle of the week, I've been all messed up with my days, but I do know now that it's Friday because I have PoliTarology with Sherry and Cleo here. So now I know what day it is. So thank you for joining me. We have a few people in the chat. That's really nice. Thank you for being here. And we're going to be taking questions from the chat. So we're starring questions from the chat to read on. And before we get started, we're just going to go around and let everybody say hey and what's going on. So hi, Sherry. Hey, what's going on?
Hi, Colleen. I'm awake today.
Yay!
Yay! I'm doing good. I did a New Year's one card draw prediction show with Nate this morning, which was a lot of fun. And then I had a personal reading I did, and then I've been kind of just chilling all afternoon, working on miscellaneous stuff since I can't really record anything right now without it screwing up royally. So um,
Oh,
hopefully by Monday or Tuesday, everything will be fixed on the computer and I can catch up on my recordings. And I don't know, I got shit happening. Check the my post page. I put it in there. And
okay. Okay.
so
And everybody go and subscribe to Sherry's channel. She's got lots of good stuff going on there.
Yeah.
yes, please, please, please. I'm almost to 10,000. I'm like this
Wow,
close. I'm
great.
9,600 something. I don't know.
Oh, that's
Um,
fantastic. That's fantastic. Great.
so
Good
I'm
for you.
almost there. Yeah.
You'll be there
Yeah.
soon. You'll be there soon. And Cleo, how are you? What's going on with you?
I'm good. Not a lot going on. I'm just like chilling now that the holidays are over, and I have just been burning the candle at both ends, trying to keep everything together for Christmas, or Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve, New Year's. It's over. It's done with. It all went very well, and I'm just so excited that we are finally into 2026. I've been waiting for 2026 since January of 2025. So I'm really looking forward to this year. I know there's going to be a lot of good stuff happening, a lot of surprises too. But anyway, I'm just hoping that the chatters today will put their questions in because we've got some things to talk about, but I'm sure that they do as well. And so that's what's
We've
going
already
on.
got several really good questions. So
Great.
Great. Great. So let's take a look at those. Um, yeah, I like that first one. Let's do that. So the first one uh, is will the truth about Trump's medical conditions come out soon? Boy, if you listen to Midas Touch, they are pounding on that. Pounding on that. So let's get going on that.
oh yeah.
Oh, will Dumpy progress from a diaper to a full blown whatever they
He
do to people?
he is so upset that all of a sudden people picked right up on the fact that now he's got two hands that are covered in makeup and stuff, and it doesn't it just doesn't sit well because his whatever her name is that said he shakes so many hands that this is what happened, and it was such a lame excuse in the first place. And then well, then how do you explain now suddenly his left hand's doing it? Does he shake hands with both hands? I don't think so. Most people, if you're right-handed, you shake with your right hand. You know, but anyway, yeah, I don't. As far as his medical conditions never have come. He never has told us what's going on. He's told us about the test that he aced. I never nobody this MRI that he had 3 times. They don't do an MRI 3 times as a regular physical for the president, and if to do it 3 times means they saw something and they're looking and checking again to see what's going on. And a lot of people believe that he's on this Alzheimer's treatment. And the only thing I can say about that is if he is, he should come out and say something because that's the first I'd ever even heard that there was this kind of treatment for Alzheimer's. And
Mhm.
it
It's
really
something
sounds,
new.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
I knew.
like a really a cool thing if they've got some kind of treatment like that. Of course, he's never going to admit to that, but yeah, as far as his medical conditions coming out soon, the only way it'll come out soon is if he has an event that lands him in the hospital or something. Uh, Otherwise, no, he's gonna just keep deny that he's got anything going on. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, that's what I get too. I just get that they're gonna throw everything in the kitchen sink at the press as far as excuses for it, which is so stupid because Caroline Levitt is up there saying the shaking hands thing, and that's obviously not it. It's already come out on, I think Mika and Joe already talked about the Alzheimer's treatment. That's what I get for drinking Coke before I come online.
And how many people would that help by him coming out about it?
It would help a lot. I think it's kind of too late for him. He's pretty advanced, I think, in his Alzheimer's now. I don't think, I mean, because this started with him, I'm sure at least 10 or 15 years ago, and it just gets worse. It never gets better. But what I'm getting is that they're going to come up with some new bizarre excuses for what's going on with him. And, Caroline Levitt, Page of Swords, she'll just keep coming out there and talking about it. He's the devil. He'll just keep lying. And they'll think that they're doing really, really, really well. But basically, it's just, we're just never going to get real satisfaction about what's going on with his health until he's no longer.
You know, trying to figure out his health is trying to figure out what he's talking about with the economy. I mean, he's he's saying the economy's great, and he's even got some people backing him up now that the economy's doing so good.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it's not, and most people know that, and you don't have to turn on the news to find out. All you have to do is go to the grocery store. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's just nuts.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Well, I pulled the Chariot and the Knight of Swords. So we're looking at fast action, and people are like, it's time. Let's get on the move. What's going on here? This is moving right along. And like Midas Touch has been doing by just beating that horse and saying, "Come on, buddy." And then I got the Six of Swords, which is a transition, moving on. So he may transition before we ever find out what it is exactly he's got. And then they'll try to play it off like, well, he's already gone. Why do we need to know?
Because in the past, the American people do need to know. They need to know that the commander in chief is capable of doing his job. And one way that he has to remain capable is to remain healthy. And he's not healthy. He's not doing his job. So we don't really know who is doing the job. We don't really know who is pulling the strings and making the demands. But I want to throw one more time on, is he going to have a kind of go to the hospital event soon? Because he's had events, and then they take him to the hospital, and then we don't see him for a few days, and then they put him back together like stuffing the scarecrow with straw and making him look all pretty, and then he comes back like, hey, I'm great. I'm great. He's all hopped up like he's like a zombie. He's just a zombie. So
absolutely.
And everybody keeps saying Weekend at Bernie's, and I'm really at a disadvantage here. It's not that I've never seen the movie. I've probably seen it at least 5 times, but I have movie amnesia. I watch a movie and I immediately forget what's going on with the movie. So I have the gift, if you will, of being able to watch a movie over and over and over again and always being surprised by the ending.
That's the best thing.
I have had this since I was a kid. I would watch TV shows. I'd get almost all the way done with the show before I would realize, hey, I think I've seen this before. You remember summer reruns when we were kids, right? I could watch those things as if I'd never seen it, and it was fun. But so it's not that I have a real memory problem that way. It's just something about them. They just go. It's like
I'm like that with books. I'll be like 3/4 of the way through a book and go, wait a minute, I've read this before.
Yeah.
This happened to that person and that happened to the other person. And sure enough, a few pages more, and that's exactly what's going on. I'm like, well, shit, that just ruined my book reading for the night,
I think it's an ADD thing. I think it's an attention deficit disorder thing. Because
Yeah.
the older I get, the more I'm willing to just say, yeah, I probably have that. Because I'm all over the place with stuff. All right, let me see what I get here. Oh boy. Oh yeah, he is gonna. Your chariot card, Sherry, just inspired me. I was thinking, I think something bad's gonna come. Yeah, it is. Yeah, very soon, actually. Very soon. And it's gonna be bad enough that they can't even show a picture of him, I don't think. It's gonna be bad. And the world is gonna recognize it. And they're gonna still try to cover up the real reason for it. But he's gonna have something where he lands in the hospital. I'm not saying, crossing over. I'm saying he's gonna have an event that he lands in the hospital, or at least he has to be under tight care for a period of time, at least like 5 days a week, something like that. So, yeah, something's coming up real soon for him. Full moon tomorrow? Yeah, full moon tomorrow. Full moon in Cancer.
Well, Colleen, you had predicted, God, it's been years ago now, that Trump was going to have a medical event that would, well, I don't know, this came up before he ever went into his second time as president, I guess. So do you still see that happening? The bunny slippers, the room, the the bunny slippers with the steel.
I think that he will be incapacitated, really incapacitated. And I hope that he's able to at least be like in a wheelchair or something, but I'm not sure how mobile he will be. So I don't know if the bunny slippers will be appropriate, because I don't think he'll be trying to walk anywhere. I mean, maybe they put him on his feet for warmth.
Damn it.
But I do see that he gets into a situation where he has to be placated, mollified, kept in check. They have to either sedate him or, keep showing him. Yeah, I do. I still see it. I just see his physical condition being a little less robust than what I saw before. Because he's less robust. I mean, apparently at his New Year's Eve party, he was not walking really, really well. He was kind of going back and forth like this. They thought he was going to fall over and stuff. I mean, no bueno at all. And a lot of the pictures from his party were of him and Melania sitting, not walking around and talking to people and stuff. He was just, when they got him in a chair. Oh, and Barron was with him too. So yeah, I think he's due for a real bad episode, and he'll just disappear for a few days, and then we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Interesting here. Karen says that the new dementia meds only have a short-term effect for like 3 to 6 months.
Yeah,
So,
and I think that they have to catch it a little earlier.
yeah.
He's not, he's been in this too long. But what do I know? I'm not a doctor. I don't know. YouTube, I'm just a tarot card reader, so just like get hip. Don't take me off the air. Okay, so what should we read on next? Let's see. I want to read on this again. Who's KK Caroline's baby daddy? Now, I have read on this before, and somebody wanted me to read on whether or not it could possibly be the orange one. And
absolutely not.
Well, don't forget. I mean, you can get pregnant in a lot of different ways these days. You don't have to have some
but
arrangement.
He would want it to be the traditional way, and he is not capable of He can't get it up. He wouldn't be capable of having a baby. He wouldn't go through all the, no, that's not going to happen.
Well, you're going to love my cards then. First thing I got was the Tower. So whatever or whoever, it's gonna shake a lot of foundations loose over it. And then I got the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords. Two very phallic symbols that come up.
So
And
for
the
Sherry,
Ace of Swords is the one I call my Bam Bam stick after Miss Nancy Jean named it for me. And both of them are like, I'm just not going to go any further with that without I'd get Colleen in trouble.
well, I'm wondering with the two aces, is there a possibility that she doesn't know and that there are two?
I think that's
between,
that's why we got the Tower.
Yeah, and I think that's why so many people are asking that, because she
But
is
don't look
married.
at Trump for this. There's somebody else involved, and she's married, right? Her husband, her
Yeah.
older husband.
Yeah, her husband is
Her
like
husband-
ancient.
He's 60. He's not
Yeah.
ancient. He's 60.
No, I mean he's much older than her.
Yeah.
Right. That's what all I'm saying. But no, there's probably somebody else involved. The first thing, this is just too crazy. What came to my mind was that Stephen Miller guy. Is that his name? I know. I know. I know. Sorry.
Thanks for putting that in my head, Cleo. Besides, neither one of these represent Stephen Miller in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a splinter off of one of them would kind of represent him, but I don't think he's to the breadth and width of these.
All right. Well, as somebody else close to the group, I'm not even going to say, but it does, I could see that there's maybe two people involved, but I don't know why it wouldn't just be they haven't been married that long, have they?
Yeah. She already has a kid with him.
Well, there you go. They can do it again.
Well, she allegedly has a kid with him. I'm just saying, if people are going to question it this go round, how many questioned it the first go round? I think it was before any of us knew who she was. So she kind of skipped out on the scrutiny of the thing, but that doesn't mean that there weren't family and friends going, now who were you with? And is he going to be willing to give them his name,
When somebody says Elon Musk, that was another name that came to mind. And look at you guys, just disgusted. But Elon's got a thing. He's trying to produce as many children as possible. And
he already stole Stephen Miller's wife.
Well, maybe that's where the Stephen Miller
she
thing
left
came
the
up.
White House to go work with Elon. She left Stephen in the White House behind, and he was not happy about it. Don't you remember there were a couple of times when they supposedly had meetings scheduled, and then Elon shows up with a black eye for some press briefing or something? It was like,
I do
who the
remember
hell
something
socked
about a
you
black
one?
eye.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
he had a shiner.
Stephen Besant socked him one. Stephen Besant. Stephen Besant's gay though. It's not his baby. Now I don't think Stephen Miller. I think
No.
I think a turkey baster in the Oval Office.
Well, that's what they're saying here. Somebody's saying turkey baster.
That's what I said last time when I was reading. That's what I think. But I don't know why she would do it. Here's the thing.
Yeah, why would she do that?
I think the whole pregnancy thing is a red herring. I don't even think she's pregnant. I really don't. And I think this is just her way of getting out of the White House with a good cover story. And come February, March, she's going to be like, oops, lost the baby.
And isn't her current child just a baby?
Yeah, so she's just gonna
But
go
yeah,
on.
I just don't think, yeah.
And when I look at these two right here, I don't think she could handle either sword. That would be too much for her. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay, shut up now, Sherry. Um,
So that's why the cards come out so weird, and that's why so many people are asking the question of who is the baby daddy. Because I don't know. I mean, I would think if she wanted to get pregnant at her age and she already had a child, she would just stop her contraception and get pregnant.
I gotta put this up.
Yes, Gail.
Gail, you won the internet tonight, darling.
Yeah, yeah, yes. We're talking about this. One of the questions I had last week was, who is the baby daddy for KK Caroline Levitt? And I think actually there's no baby.
Yeah, I don't think there is either, but if there was, I think it would be her husband. I can't imagine that. I don't know. I don't, who, maybe she is just a
She's had
tramp.
more
I don't
action
know.
with her lips than she's had anything else. Somebody did a Vanity Fair, I think it was, did
Yes.
some kind of interview with those in the White House, and all of their interviews were like up close in their face right here, and it's like I don't want to see all of their pores and freckles that the makeup didn't cover, and all of her lip plumping needle marks in her lips. So I'm just
I gotta
saying.
tell you, whatever that girl's done to her skin is just a crime. I had my camera on all of a sudden, real close up when I went to go do that video this afternoon, and it was the same thing, that area of her face. And I gotta tell you, my face did not look like hers. My face
Yeah.
looked damn sight better than what she showed up as. But then I don't do all that kind of shit to my face. But okay, so the bottom line is we don't know whose baby it is because we don't think there's really a baby. I don't think there's really a baby. I think
I
it's
would be inclined to agree with you.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just like, well, yeah, okay, that's a very convenient thing to say. And in that crowd, is anybody going to go up to her and go, "Hey, prove it. Let's see the pregnancy test"? No. No.
No, of course not.
They're all going to be like, "Oh, that's so wonderful. You're so blessed. Oh, God has blessed you with a child." They're all going to be like that. She's going to be, down the highway 20 miles in probably this month, to go. And then there'll be no baby.
Okay. So that was a fun question. Can we move
Yeah.
on?
Yes, we can.
I want to see. I want to see.
Quite a few to pick from there.
I want to see the. Do you see more Republicans leaving in the coming weeks and months, in addition to those who aren't returning?
Yes, let's look at that. I should have left these cards. I mean, no, I don't want to use those cards. I'm going to use different cards. Okay. Bum 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 bum.
I'm getting a lot of them are going to try to leave because of this. I think it has a lot to do with the Epstein thing, and also that they're just having a real hard time, personally, morally, backing up this president. I mean, it's just getting to where they can't do it. They can't look them. They have to look at themselves in the mirror every day, and they're having a hard time doing that by being the yes people for Trump, and they're not interested in any more threats. So I do see more people leaving. The ones that aren't returning, there's not that many right now. There's only about 10, and that also includes some Democrats.
What do you mean 10 what? Where? What are you saying?
10, there's about 10 people right now that are
Leaving?
definitely
Oh,
leaving,
okay, thank you. Okay.
as well as some of them are not all Republicans. So, but I do see more Republicans leaving, but I think that Trump will try to do something to make them stay, because it's starting to get real they're getting really shook up about what's going on. That the GOP is kind of losing their foothold all the way around, and the Republicans are just like pleasantly being quiet. They're like, yeah, okay, whatever. They
Well,
just want.
here's the thing. So I do think that a lot more Republicans want to leave. Whether Trump is he capable of doing these things, or who's pulling the strings back there? Is it really? I mean, I just don't. Who's making these decisions? The stuff with Iran, the stuff with Venezuela, all this stuff. That's Stephen Miller. That's got Stephen Miller's DNA.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that's the
So
leader of the pack. Yes.
All
yeah,
over the place.
so Stephen Miller is the one trying to make them stay. So Stephen Miller's going to say that it's Trump, and he's going to deliver the message, but I don't think it holds much teeth. I think there are going to be many, many more who leave too. I think they're just so tired of fighting it, and they're
I think so
not
too.
they're not being able to hold on to their seats. So they're literally becoming unemployed by supporting Trump.
Yeah. Yeah,
Not
they probably yeah, rather than lose and go through the whole campaign thing and stuff when they know they're not going to get it anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, that will be part of the reason of why they're just like,
Yep.
okay, it's time to step down. But also because they know that if they haven't been personally threatened, and they will be if they try to drop out, but they're tired of the threats, and that is very obvious that that is actually going on. That they're threatening people's families, they're threatening their livelihood, and let's not forget that a couple of Democrats were shot and killed, and and everybody would just like, oh wow, too bad. No, no, there was something to that whole thing, and I hope that in the future something will come up with that, and somebody will find out. Supposedly it's just some nutcase that was some rogue guy that went out there and shot everybody. Well, I think there's
Well,
Buy
more
that.
to it than that. More
I
to it than
think
that.
I think this is why Trump really wants to slam down Jack Smith, because if Jack Smith ever gets a chance to pursue cases against him again, you can be sure they're going to say, "Hey Jack, can you look into this too?" Because
Okay, well that isn't that the next question coming up, because
Oh,
Well, let me
that
give you
is
my cards for this question.
yeah, okay, and then we'll
Yeah.
I drew 3 reversals in a row. That doesn't happen very often. But I got the 3 of Wands reversed. So that's playing it small, trying to act like they're not really planning anything, but I get the really strong feeling that there's talk going on behind closed doors that we don't see or hear. Um, and then I get the Knight of Pentacles reversed, which is that's boredom, feeling stuck. There's a lot of them that are really not happy with the fact that they can't do their job right now. They keep getting sent home every time something comes up that they can get up there and extrapolate on, and instead they get shipped out home because little Mikey is too scared of Mr. Donnie to do anything. And then I got the 4 of Swords reversed, and that talks about exhaustion, burnout, stagnation. I keep getting it stagnant and just tired of all of it. Just they're done, they're done.
Yeah.
okay. Where did you see that other
I
question?
know I can't find it. It was
Was it
way
in
up
the
at,
live?
yeah, it was in the live, and
Oh,
you
okay.
don't
So it's
you don't
not
have it
starred.
starred.
Okay.
I'm trying to find it, but
Okay. Well, I'll just star the ones.
just
Here, I found it. I found it. Oh no, that's not right. Sorry.
no, that's not it. But
Sorry,
that's
it's the Jack Smith.
yeah.
Okay.
Where is that? It was
Oh
early
yeah,
on.
so many people that
What
Caroline.
was the question you thought you saw?
About Jack Smith, and I don't recall exactly how it was worded, but I mean, we want to talk about that because a lot of
Yeah,
stuff has come up with his going before Congress and talking about all the information and evidence that he has, that for one, that the president totally knew, Trump totally knew that he lost the election, and that what he has used the election as a reason to go after everybody, and it's complete nonsense and BS, because um, Jack Smith has the evidence that no, that's not what happened.
yeah. Well, so how would you formulate the question from what you can remember? What did they want to know? Will he come back and will
Well,
he ever be?
are they going to be paying any attention to to what he's been saying? Are they going to? I don't know what the question was, but it was about Jeff Smith, and there's just, there's a lot of people wondering, is he? Are they paying attention? What are they going to do with the evidence that Jack Smith has
There we
given them?
go. What are they going to do with the evidence? Okay, let's look at that, because his evidence is pretty bad. Well, and it kind of goes along.
Say that question again?
What are they going to do with the evidence that Jack Smith dug up? They had him testify for 8 goddamn hours on the Hill. What are they going to do with that? Why are they asking him to come back and do that if they aren't trying to find some reason to do something against Dumpy? That's what I think.
Absolutely. I don't know how they could possibly ignore that.
Well, look at the Epstein stuff. They could ignore it.
Well, and the both things combined, there's going to be people. You got to remember that as much as the Republicans are screwballs, there's some of them that actually have a moral compass in this thing.
Oh
That
yeah.
see that they're dealing with a corrupt president, a man with 34 felonies, a person that probably was involved in being a pedophile and a rapist. I mean, it just gets horrible, when you start thinking that this is the person leading the country. And then when Jack Smith comes zooming in and says, oh, by the way, this is what I found out about. We didn't get to bring it up because he became president, and so we couldn't do anything with it. But here's my stuff. And he's got it in black and white. There is no question. It is just in their face. These people have got to be looking at this going, oh my God, what the hell do we do? And I think what they're going to do is try to take him out of there as quietly as possible. And I think they're going to use a health event, a medical emergency, to remove him.
And claim the 25th Amendment.
Yeah, and they'll have to probably do that too.
Okay, so here's what the universe has to help manipulate for us, because the 25th Amendment has to be enacted by the cabinet. The Congress and Senate, is it Senate he spoke to or the Congress?
Yeah, I thought it was Congress.
Okay, yeah, because it was Jim Jordan. He's not a senator. Okay, so the Congress is calling for all this information. And again, the Republicans are losing all their elections. They do not want this guy to stay around. Even if they agreed with a third of what he was saying, they don't really want him around anymore because it's bad for business. It's bad for their careers. Here's what I think. Cards come up that this time around, they're going to try. They're going to try to press something. I don't know if it's impeachment or some other articles, or if they're going to try to get the cabinet to do a 25th Amendment. They're going to try to do something, but it's not going to work. And probably Stephen Miller is going to thwart it. He's going to steal something from them so that they can't go forward with it. However, it's going to come back. Once they do get Dumpy taken care of, isolated, and I've used this word before too. Dumpy has to be contained, isolated. He has to be brought down, and his cabinet kind of has to be brought down too.
He'll be imprisoned. That will be that could be that he will be imprisoned, and then they'll try to circumvent that and do something else, so that.
Well, okay, so what I'm seeing is he's contained in some way. this makes the people in Congress really happy because then they can act, and then they act, and they find some mechanism, either through Congress or the cabinet or legal or something. They find some mechanism to really shut it down, and then they bring all those charges back out because those charges don't go away. They are a matter of public record now. And one of the reasons I think they wanted to bring it out in a testimony that is recorded, and the reason Jack Smith wanted it recorded, is so that this testimony is out in the public, so that it cannot be forgotten. Now it's on the internet, and the internet is forever. So I think you're right. I don't know how all the mechanisms are going to work to make it happen, but I think it hinges on getting Dumpy isolated, taking away his microphone, taking away his ability to talk to people, influence people, be out on social media, or to have Stephen Miller do the same. So Stephen Miller also has to be, kind of.
And what is Stephen Miller to the administration? Is he some kind of an official there, or is he just somebody?
He's the assistant chief of staff to Susie
Okay.
Wiles, but he also has I'm going to look it up. He also has some kind of an appointment about Homeland Security too.
And don't forget about Susan. Is her name Susan Wiles?
Susie Wiles.
Susie Wiles. That woman knows what she's talking about, and she is talking the truth, and she's in between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah,
she
she
does
is.
like Trump. She does, she's been doing a good job, but she's also been trying to get him to
Well, she's been with him for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, she's trying to get him to, because he does trust her to some extent, and she's been trying to get him to be a little more transparent. I'm a little more upfront and being more honest about what's going on. She is totally, I think personally, on a psychic level, totally disgusted with what Trump has been involved in. Mm-hmm. So she has a little bit of a hard time with that. But, I don't think Stephen Miller he doesn't have a power there. He's got something going on between Trump and the administration, but as far as his position, he's not somebody that can really delegate certain things. But when the Congress,
I disagree. I think
really,
I think he has a lot of power. He is not only the deputy chief of staff for policy, it says, but he's, for all intents and purposes, he's right beside Susie Wiles, but he is also Homeland Security advisor. That's pretty wide ranging. And so formally, he doesn't really manage people or things that are going on, but he is very, very powerful.
Really?
He's Trump's Rasputin.
Yes, he is. And his positions were specifically either created for him or they gave him these titles because they did not require Senate confirmation. Because this guy's really a piece of crap.
Right. That's why I kind of dismissed him. Mm-hmm. As far as I just thought he had the president's ear and that he had no power. That generally speaking, not a lot of power
in the first administration, but now he does.
Okay, well maybe that's where I got it confused. But right now, with all this stuff that came up with Jack Smith, how would Stephen Miller have a chance to? What would he do? Just come out and say, "Oh, it's just a pack of lies" or something? I don't know.
Stephen Miller, I think, is, as I said before, I think he's really pulling the strings on everything. So who knows who's writing the social media that Trump is putting out?
Well, I think Stephen Miller is just totally following Project 2025 and not
maybe he is. Yeah, maybe that's what it really floats his boat.
Well, I got the Page of Wands, another reversal, which talks about a lack of direction and creating conflict. That seems to be the key words for this administration. And then I got the Five of Pentacles, which is financial loss, being out in the cold. They just losing their crap, man. They don't know which end is up. And then I got the The King of Wands reversed, which is impulsiveness, um, uh, unachievable expectations. So, I mean, again, there's another card that completely talks about jumpy pants and what he's like. They can't get anything together because they're all full of it anyway. But
Somebody on here, Tishy J2 said, it's cute that Cleo thinks the Republicans have a moral compass.
I
Just,
think that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
just trying to be a little bit more positive and thinking that there's some empathy there with these people. They can't all be complete idiots. Now, maybe it is just wishful thinking on my part.
Well, they've been tortured. They've been tortured and threatened and exploited and blackmailed for all these years. I mean, even during Biden's administration, he was having people threatened, blackmailed, having their families threatened. Don't you remember all those things with the court cases where he was doing that to all those judges? He was also doing that, and we heard reports of it to people in the Senate and Congress. Do you remember Mitt Romney when he would go up against what Trump wanted? He got threatened. Now, for him, it was a big surprise. And he came out in public and just said, look, I've been threatened. My family's been threatened. And I know for a fact that my colleagues have been threatened. Now, I have the money to hire security 24/7. They don't. And that's when he made the decision to leave. So that was his moral compass. He couldn't fight it. He couldn't stand up to it, really. So he was just going to get away from it. But all the time from his first presidency to this one, for that whole, it will be 12 years when it's over if he stays. So for 8-9 years, he's been threatening them, and they're tired. They're tired of it. That's why their morals and their moral compass is like completely way down on the priority list. Staying alive, keeping their family alive, keeping a job and a roof over their heads. Those are the things that are important to them today, because they are really pressed all the time to prove their loyalty, to do the things that he wants. I looked up, I can't really find anybody who says, yes, Stephen Miller is implementing Project 2025, but I think you're right. I think that's really what he's implementing. And also, I think that Stephen Miller is also acting the role that Michael Cohen used to do, the enforcer, pressuring people, threatening people. But he just hires people to do that. So there's probably a whole little circle of goons that he has that he uses for that stuff.
He's not going to do anything that gets his hands dirty.
No, he's not. He's very careful that way. He's just going to lose his wife over doing his own job. But he is somehow he is directing all of this stuff in the background. And that's why Vance is not president today, because of Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller doesn't like Vance. They are opposed to one another.
They cannot stand each other. And so Miller's going to do whatever he can do to keep Dumpy in there as long as he can to keep Vance out. And because he knows as soon as Vance comes in, he's gone too.
Oh, yeah. Now, what do we think Susie Wiles thinks about all the extraordinary medical measures they're taking to keep Dumpy going? What do we think she thinks about that? Does she agree with him?
She's probably double-edged on that, because part of her is going to be like, do whatever you can to keep this man kicking, because she's been with him for so long. I'm sure she cares about him in her own twisted way.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely a daddy figure for her. Yeah.
And and at the same time be like, oh God, just let him go and end his misery. I couldn't think of the word.
Yeah,
Um,
it's elder abuse.
it's
It's
like,
elder abuse.
do we put them down like we do with dogs, or do we let them just keep on going?
Yeah, let him go. Let him. We don't put him down, but let him go. Just let him go from all this stuff. I want to see what Susie Wiles is thinking about this. Susie, what do you think about this stuff? She's the doctors. Oh, she's very emotionally tied to this whole situation. And her paycheck and pension.
Well, and even though with all the things she said in Vanity Fair on that interview, that kind of looked like she was being a little bit critical of Trump, in the end, she's always back to supporting him 1000%. So
it's her job too. I just want to pull up how old she is.
Well, I got some really interesting cards here.
Go for it. Go for it. Tell us
I got the Tower reversed. I don't know what the hell is all the reversals tonight. Personal transformation, fear of change, averting or delayed disaster. Well, Jesus, that describes her to a T.
Yeah, it does.
And then we got the Queen of Pentacles. So I think that's her nurturing side coming out. She's been taking care of Dumpy for so long that, like a lot of home care nurses or personal nurses that take care of individual patients, you get very attached to that patient. I mean, and as difficult as it can be to take care of them, you still care about them and you still want to keep taking care of them.
Yeah.
And then I ended up with judgment. And so it's like, okay, ain't that going to be fun?
Oh. Wow. I'm looking up her age. That's what I'm not commenting too much. Just let me see here. Susie Wiles. I got it now. Susie. There she is. How old is she? Oh God, she's same age as my girlfriend. So she's in her late 60s.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So she should retire. I'm sure she's got a pension and all that stuff going on. Why is she still working? Because all these people in Washington think that they're immortal. What is wrong with them? They all think they're immortal. They all think that they can just go forever and ever and ever. I'm going to be working. No, you're not. Well, the cards that I got for her just show she's very emotionally attached to the whole situation. This is, I don't know if she's still married or if her husband's still living or whatever, but she's super emotional about this. She's very connected and she's very good at, she wants to keep all the secrets. She feels tremendous loyalty to him. And, she is looking forward to the day that she can retire. So I don't think she's going to make it for the whole next year of 2026. I think she's going to leave sometime soon. In fact, I think when she started the Vanity Fair interviews, which were taken over the course of 11 months, and she was the only person actually interviewed. The photographer just asked her, who do you want me to take pictures of? And she put together the roster of who she wanted to see in the photos. And they had no choice in the matter. They were summoned to the photos. They didn't get interviewed, nothing, just photographs. But she, I think when she started out, probably intended to be leaving at the end or right around the time that the article came out. That's what I think. But here she is. It's January and her and Caroline still there. So I guess he's really got him wrapped around his finger. There's something about him. He's very manipulative. He's very thing.
I've read that he on one-on-one when you're there in a room with him by himself, and Bill Maher even said this, that he He's very charming and very persuasive about things. He has a way about that one-on-one with somebody that he can talk people into doing things that they normally would not ever do.
Oh, you think? You think?
So
Yeah, he's got Pluto in the first house. He is very, very manipulative, really good at manipulating people. Probably almost as good as J.E. Probably almost as good as him. And that guy is a master. But in my cards, what I get is that she's gonna be gone soon. She's gonna be by herself soon. And it's going to be a big relief. It's going to be a big, 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 nice relief for her. She's going to probably write a tell-all book when she gets out. And it's just going to be, it's going to be nice. I don't think she's going to be there that long.
Well, I think that she would want to get out in order to save whatever kind of reputation she does have right now. I think she feels if she stays too long, it's going to look bad on her. Plus, she can only do so much. She cannot save Trump.
No, none of them can. And I think that is the attitude of a lot of people around him and a lot of the senators and Congress people. They all realize that this is a short-run show. This is not a long-run show. Right. They can't survive it.
And how long can they hang before they have to jump ship?
Well, that's it. They can't. They have to jump ship, and they just have to figure out when their exit is, because people are not getting reelected. People are not able to hang on to their jobs. So a lot of people just have to make a bread and butter decision. I either have a job or I don't.
They all think that Vance can't handle it either, but they mostly think that Vance will take over, that's the obvious, the way things would go. If it's the president gets removed for some reason, the vice president moves on in. And I actually, I've never seen Vance actually spending a lot of time there, maybe a couple hours. And but
can you blame him?
No. Well, I mean,
no, he won't.
He will be removed along with everybody else, but it will take a little bit longer. It won't be like Trump's gone and now all these other people are gone. It's going to be Trump's gone, and then they got to spend some time working through the names and the criminal activity and what did they do with Trump when they knew better. It's like, if you guys are right now, if they're all protecting him because he's in really bad health, they're going to be in trouble for that. What is the thought there? He'll definitely be a lame duck president. But can you imagine if it goes the way we see it going and all the Democrats take over, and so they have the House and the Senate, and here's Vance looking around like he's going to run something? No.
But you know what? I heard a couple of the old-time pundits on the Democratic side who were talking about that they hope that the Democrats didn't take back control of the House before midterms, and were even worried about them taking back the House at midterms, because then they're going to be blocked from every direction of doing everything, and the Republicans can then turn it around and say, well, see, it's their fault. See, it's their fault. Look at they've got faulty wiring, faulty. I don't know. I didn't see the whole interview.
What kind of Democrats were these?
They were talking about the ones that are currently in Congress. So I think they're talking more about the more mainstream ones. I don't think they were talking about Crockett or AOC or any of them.
They're talking about Chuck Schumer and the old ones.
Yeah, and Hakeem and some of them that play that middle of the road, which is necessary, but they were talking about, if we're not careful, then the Republicans, because they've got the press backing them up, can turn it around and make it seem like it's all of the Democrats' fault.
That's what they're doing.
They
right
do that
now.
anyway.
God, I keep hitting the microphone. Sorry. That's what they're trying. That's what they're saying. Biden caused all this trouble, and the Democrats aren't being trying to work with the Republicans and don't agree with the big beautiful bill, and that there's the Democrats causing all this trouble. Well, that is absolute BS. That is such a lie.
Yeah, this is just those Democrats, the equivalent of them writing strongly worded letters. They're just like not on board. They're not listening. Their ear is not to the ground. They don't understand what's going on. They're just playing the same movie that they've played over and over and over again. And they got to read the room. It's a different world.
Yeah.
These old people got to be forced out. They got to get rid of them because the Republicans want them to be afraid like this. And the Republicans do not control all the media as much as they did. I've heard a lot of news stories on MSNBC, not MS Now, but MSNBC, not always super supportive of Dumpy, not always super supportive of the Republicans, like they usually are. So, I mean,
lately,
yeah, lately, you
right.
too? Yeah.
Yes.
So MS Now, yes, they're liberal. They're going to go back to what MSNBC used to be. They're going back to that. But I was hearing on regular TV, and regular NBC, and so Hakeem and Schumer and the other old people, they just have to, man, they just have to understand that it is not what it was yesterday. Because really, think about it. If they did have both the House and the Senate, what would block them from passing votes? Nothing. They'd pass the votes. They'd pass the bills. They'd repeal that stupid BBB. They'd get ICE out of there. They'd do stuff with the SCOTUS. If they had both, they would just do things. They'd vote things so that they were veto proof. They wouldn't have to worry. So that's horseshit. That is just horseshit. And the reason they're saying that is because they're also bought off by the PACs. And that's what the PACs want them to say. The PACs want them to say the same thing the Republicans would say, just the Democrat flavor of how we say it. And that's not cool.
I don't know exactly. I'm getting a little confused about what you're talking about, because I just think that everything that we have seen this whole year would just about every single thing would be reversed. This thing with the tariffs, that well, why wouldn't that be a good thing?
Because that's not what the PACs want them to do. It is a good thing. It is a really good thing. But those old school Democrats, all of them are taking money from the super PACs and big corporations. And the super PACs and the big corporations want them to toe the same line as what the Republicans are doing. Or they're not going to give them money. That's why you don't want people using super PACs. Sherry, you're muted, hon.
I'm muted. The Democrats that are really, 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 really doing well right now are the ones that are not taking PAC money.
Right.
And those are the ones that people are coming out for and supporting and saying, "Oh, he or she's my guy, gal, whatever." Because they're not taking PAC money. The ones that are, I mean, and that's true even if it's somebody that's middle of the road, not too far left, not too far right. But if they're not taking PAC money, people are supporting them.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones that are taking PAC money, and I don't care how far they go in either direction, more and more people are like, yeah, no, we don't want that.
That's right.
Because they're tired of the corporations saying what.
That's right. It's also those people taking the PAC money are also the ones they're supporting Israel. Well, Netanyahu. They're supporting Netanyahu. Yeah. And that also people feel very, very upset about. And the younger crowd really doesn't want that. And that's why the groundswell is building for people who don't take PAC money, because that's the real progressive agenda moving forward. When you're independent and you can do what the people, the voters, what they really want you to do, then that's what people need. That's what we want. That's the way it's supposed to work. It's not supposed to be the other way. Good Lord, we've already been on an hour. I'm not even halfway
Yeah.
through with what I want to talk about. Jesus.
And with the younger people, they're sitting here looking at our government saying, why are we giving billions of dollars to all of these other countries so their people get health care, their people get universal incomes, their people get fill in the blank, but we don't have money for us? Make that math make sense, Instead, we're going to give the trillionaires another tax credit that they don't need, and we're going to give the Pentagon another $1 trillion that it doesn't need. And it's people, especially a lot of the younger people, are just they're like up to here with it. They're fed up.
Oh yeah, because for the last 15 years they haven't been able to barely afford rent, let alone buy a house. They have to pay out of pocket full price for health insurance. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know how they survive. I don't know how they survive. I don't know how any of them can still afford to even go to Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks for a coffee, because they got to be on hella tight budgets.
Yeah, big time. I mean, maybe that's your lunch and dinner for the day, but
yeah. I'd like to read on this one. I'd like to read on this. Will Vance's wife end up dumping him? I know you guys in the chat have such wonderful questions, and I just pointed
I love the way they phrase them.
Yeah, we've already been on an hour, and we'll keep going for a while. I don't know how Sherry, how long you can be, or Cleo, how long you can be, but
I'm good. I might have to take the dog for a quick walk.
I think you scheduled it for an hour and a half. So
I did?
Yeah, that's what you usually do. So
okay,
we should be good for 30 more minutes.
Okay, great. Okay, so should you love me?
Let me go see what he's looking for.
I don't think this is going to happen.
No,
I don't think she's no. I think he will backpedal and buy her roses and take her out to dinner, and because it would not look good for him to be the when he is in office as the vice president, to have his wife divorce him or dump him, whatever, and that it makes more sense to keep they've been together, might as well stay together. They have kids and stuff, right? So
yeah.
he would not, Vance would not want that on his dance card at this point. No, I think that she probably is getting a little disgusted with him, but I don't think as long as he's in office that she'll do that. That would be interesting, though. I don't think we've ever had a president. Is there been a president that's gone through a divorce, or a vice president that's gone through a divorce? No, see, no, they'll pay her to stay if they have to.
I totally disagree. She's already filed papers.
You think so?
She wants to be out of there so bad. This thing with Erica Kirk he just screwed the pooch with that. That was such a dumb thing. Okay. She's been very.
She's done with him. Yeah.
She's
really
been very, very cagey about it. She's got the high priestess, secret. Nobody knows except for all the psychics on YouTube. 7 of Wands. Oh yeah, he's already talking to her and trying to get her to change her mind, because he got served the papers. It's the Wheel of Fortune, though, baby. Things are going to change. Now, it could change that it goes back and she stays with him. I don't know. But right now, she's mad. She's hella mad. She remembers what they used to have, and they don't have that anymore. And what
you don't think if he's been served papers, or if she's actually filed, that we wouldn't hear about that? That's usually pretty much a public record, and to keep the press away from that. Good luck. They'd be all over that.
They control.
Okay, well, I got a few cards.
Wait, I'm not done. They control the press. The Republicans definitely control the press. She gets for the future. She gets the Fool starting out on a new journey where she's free. That little dog represents freedom and knowledge. She is looking out for her kids. She wants to lay down the law. I want this. I want this. I want this. She wants lots of money. She is a lawyer herself, And she is not afraid to take him to court. She's not afraid of this. And she knows that she would have the law on her side. She knows that she would win a big settlement from him. So yes, I believe she has already filed papers with him. Now, she could have just presented him with the papers herself and not actually filed them with the court. She could have drawn them up with her attorney. Or maybe what she's presenting him with is some kind of a settlement or an arrangement agreement to kind of let him go off and do his thing with Erica. And she takes the kids and goes and doesn't have to do the White House crap anymore. And she's just kind of like, a free agent.
Taking a lesson from the First Lady. If it's not in the contract, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And who do you think she might have talked to about this? The First Lady.
Exactly. Yeah, because I got the Two of Cups reversed. So that's disharmony and distrust, you think. And then I got the Ace of Pentacles reversed, lost opportunities. And then I got the Seven of Wands. That's a challenge, fighting, putting up your dukes, getting ready to go a few rounds.
She's mad.
Yeah, she's very mad. That's why she's been seen without her wedding ring for the last good little bit.
And she came up with some lame excuse about that as well. I totally agree with you guys that she's mad, she's pissed, she wants to do something like this. It's not going to happen while he is in office. It will not happen. And this thing about Erica, come on. I mean, the woman just lost her husband through an assassination
like she gives
attempt.
a crap about that. Oh
my God.
She's too busy being on the Erica tour right now, where she gets to be the star now. She's not in her husband's shadow anymore. Now she gets to be front and center, and she's loving every minute of it. That's why his parents are suing for custody of their children.
Oh God, I didn't
know that.
Yes. His parents are suing for custody of the children because they said that she is neglecting and ignoring them on her It's All About Me tour.
Oh, no. Where'd you hear that?
I saw it in the New York Times. I saw it in I want to say the Atlantic. Nice. And then I saw Don Lemon said something about it. And then I forget his name, another guy, he's off of the MSN, off of the Midas Touch Network. And he does he's got like his own little channel. He's like a part of the network of Midas. I can't think of what his name is right now. Tall brunette guy, good looking guy. He's really been picking up on some stuff on her and putting it out there on little Miss Erica. So I was like, oh, holy crap. I only know this because Nathan and I did a deep dive on her about a month ago. And we were getting all kinds of stuff. I was like, holy crap, man. And since then, it's like my news feed, I get blasted with stuff about her all the time now.
Well, Colleen, I think that it's just like this. You had been telling me forever and ever that Trump was going to be locked up in a rubber room and that he was going to be so sick and with the bunny slippers and all that. Now I think what the problem here is that you guys are reading way in advance. Are you talking about like this month, 6 months from now? What is your timing on this? Because I'm not saying it couldn't ever happen. I'm saying that right now, the way things are, I know that the Vice President Vance will do everything he can to put up a good front. And if that means paying this woman $1 million to stick around, that's what he'll do.
And maybe that's the way it'll play out. Because I just know she has shown him papers. She has done something where she's shown him legal papers. And then the process begins of him trying to pull her back in and negotiate with her.
Yeah, because right about the time that the Erica Kirk thing happened, he was speaking at some rally where he was making this big deal about how he wished his wife was Christian and not a Hindu, and that they were sending their kids to a Christian school because she was so open hearted about it, and that she came to church with him, but he didn't go to temple with her. And how he hopes and prays every day that she's going to switch religions. And I'm like, why?
Mm-hmm.
Hindu religion is far more equitable than the Christian religion any day of the week. You know, it's Candy Bear, come here. Come on. Poor baby.
Yeah.
He hears me and then he looks all around because he can't see me. Come here, kid.
Oh. So yeah. So okay. So that's what we feel about that. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. So
So far, I'm batting 1,000 here. I'm going against both of you.
I know.
All right, I can handle it. Let's go.
Okay,
What's the next thing?
I'm trying to hide this comment, and I'm not having any. Thank you. I'm not having any luck. Okay, so let's look at these other ones. Let's do this one. Well, Canada kicked the American ambassador Pete Hoekstra out of Canada. We hate him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Canada.
Well,
but we don't blame you.
And no, we don't blame you. I think Canada should kick everybody out that's, from America that's working for Trump or our government. Why should they
be insulted continually?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the crazy stuff that they're doing to the Canadians is just amazing. And Canada, I'm amazed because they are such a nice, as a whole, just really nice people that want to get along. But Trump has just made it so difficult for everybody that they're just like, hey, what do you want to, what's going to happen now? They're tired of being walked all over. And so, it's just like, did you read the articles about all the companies that are making bourbon and stuff that I don't know anything about alcohol, but I mean, there's a bunch of companies that are going out of business because they can't get their stuff from Canada, and that Canada is not buying their stuff anymore.
Canada quit buying Kentucky bourbon and stuff like that.
Bourbon, yeah.
They quit buying a lot of American products.
Yes.
Especially consumable, like eating food and bourbon, liquor and cigarettes. They're not buying any of that.
Yeah.
And that's hard on our economy because there are whole towns that's the economy, is that one bourbon factory or that one cigarette factory or whatever that.
Or the Canadians that come down from Canada and shop in the United States. I'm in Seattle. We're right next to Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not coming in anymore. Those towns are like disappearing. They can't, their economy is shot. It's gone. Nobody's coming down and using their restaurants or their gas stations or their grocery store. Anything.
Or their gift shops or anything.
Yeah. Well, at the very beginning, don't you remember the very beginning of the second Trump administration, all the tourist industry just tanked because he wouldn't let anybody come. Do you remember that? Nobody could come, and there was all that nonsense about Canada taking over Canada and all that stuff, and people were just
the Canada, the next big state of the United States. That was so embarrassing that he even said such a thing. So I don't. If Canada wants to kick this guy out, you got my vote.
Well, I got the moon, so we're looking at a lot of subterfuge here with the moon. I mean, little things are coming to light, but I think that Canadians are just tired of it. They're just
sick of it.
Done. And then we've got the Eight of Cups, which shows the same kind of moon up in the sky. And, this is just disappointment, abandonment. They're like, yeah, dude, you're done. And then I got the Five of Pentacles, which is, being left out in the cold.
Mhm.
Financial loss. That's a lot of our cities and stuff that are
Mhm.
tourist areas are all
I think there's a very good chance. I think, though, that it will be precipitated by some action on his part, something that he does that is just heinous. And they'll say, I'm sorry, you got to leave. We can't have you here. And he may
Yeah.
just decide to hole up in the American embassy for a while, but he'll come. I think he'll end up coming home. Because I think by the time this happens, I don't think we'll have Dumpy in the White House to say anything, or Stephen Miller in the White House to say anything about it and to push back. How does that work?
What? Oh, if you look way up at the top of the chat, you can see a little box like
Oh, no. I mean, I'm
Uber and
talking about the ambassador. How would it work for him to get kicked out?
the host country just says you have to leave now. You're no longer welcome here, and then
Yeah.
he has to leave.
He,
Yeah, the Canadians are proving they don't need us, we need them.
Yeah, big time.
Absolutely.
so I Googled, can a country kick out an ambassador? And AI says, yes, a country can absolutely kick out an ambassador or any diplomat by declaring them persona non grata. Like, no, it was very quick. AI did not have to think about that very hard at all. The host country doesn't need to provide a reason, though expulsions often follow serious crimes, espionage, or policy disagreements, serving as a strong signal of diplomatic displeasure. Oh, so
there you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, little
I
Pete.
know.
Welcome home, Pete.
Little Pete, gotta go.
Okay. So let's see.
Of course, Melania has a boyfriend. She's had a boyfriend for years.
Decades.
You
And I think
really
the
think
same
she
one.
lets him touch her?
No, she does not.
She got that one. She got the kid. That's all she cared about. Getting that one. That tied her to him.
She has allowed him to touch her more in the last 2 weeks than he has for the last 10 years, because
Yeah.
she's had to hold his hand, and I think it's so that he can stay upright.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say, I think she might be, aside to her that because he's so sick,
Yep.
that she will be trying to look like she's being supportive at because it would just be weird not to.
She has to be the grieving widow, and she can't do that if she's been
just been a
disappeared for
bitch
the
about
last 6 months.
it's just, but it is funny to see them walking away from the airplanes or where the cars, and she's like going, "No, like,
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
touch me. I
Yeah.
don't hold my hand. What are you doing?"
Okay, I got another one here. Are the corrupt senators going to be exposed for the Epstein files?
Ooh. Yes. Sorry, y'all. I'm having leg spasms. I'm having to stand up here for a minute.
It's okay. Do what you need to do.
Well, I think if they finally have a page of information from the Epstein files that's not completely blacked out, so we know who and what really happened and why were those people there. A lot of the people that were there were not there to party and get. They were there because they were getting financial advice from Epstein. I mean, he made a lot of money, and he did it by telling people how to invest and what to do with their companies and how to deal with their money. So the senators that have done stuff that they know better, When it gets to that point, I think you'll see a lot of people, not just senators, but a lot of people just going, you know what? I've got some things going on. I'm retiring. I'm I'm
They'll still get
leaving.
charged, though. They'll still be charged.
Exactly. Exactly. But
Yeah.
they're
First card out of the batch I got, the death card, followed by the magician. So I don't care how many wands he has, there's not enough to raise him from the dead. And then I get the Three of Pentacles reversed, which is, what is it? Disharmony, misalignment, working alone. Yeah. Lack of teamwork. They don't have any of that stuff. So
Wow.
they're all, their gooses are cooked and they know it. Because
Yeah,
at
they
this
do.
point now, no matter which direction they go or what they do, they're screwed.
Yeah.
There's no getting around it.
Because they're screwed if they cover up anymore, and they're screwed if they're exposed for what they did. Here's the thing
Yeah.
with the files that are coming out. We talked last time about the unredacting the redacted pages, which was pretty easy to do for most of them. But there's just so much in these files that it isn't like you have to find the one page, 1,936 is the page where it mentions, so and so from Congress. No, no, no. These people's names are all over it. So all it takes is the first person whose eyes light on the page that mentions that person probably mentions about 10 other people, and that's how it's going to go down. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? It's not like out of the gazillion pages that are there that they're only mentioned on one page. That's not
right.
what it's about. They're going to be mentioned a lot. And also, JE made money not only by giving financial advice to people, but by heinously overcharging them for the prostitution. Heinously overcharging them. He did not allow the girls to handle money from the clients. All of that transaction went through him.
But here's the pimp.
Yes. And because he was exploiting all of the customers, it wasn't just a normal transaction. It was that transaction plus, you know, a $500,000 markup or whatever it was. I don't know how much he charges, but so that, he could keep their names out of the press or whatever. So, he did make a lot of money on these women. Otherwise, once he was doing the financial thing, why would he bother doing all that other stuff? He would just do it for himself and Dumpy and leave it at that. He wouldn't do it for all these other people unless he was making a bunch of money out of it.
But I think that the way that the payoff went, it didn't, it wasn't specifically for the girls.
Oh,
that he does what he did to make it look like he's helping these guys financially, to help them where to invest and what to do and what bank,
This guy had a lot of different business models going on.
Yeah.
He was also making money from foreign countries as a counter agent, as a counter spy, or a triple spy or a quadruple spy. Many foreign countries, not just one or two, not just like Israel or something. He had like throughout the Middle East, he had Russia, he probably had China, he had lots of different irons in the fire with that too, because he could travel internationally on his plane. It was easy for him to get different places. He probably got caught up with some sort of stupid sting operation early on when he was trying to do the human trafficking thing with the girls. And he parlayed. This guy was so brilliant at manipulating people and talking his way into things. He does not even have, I'm not even sure he graduated from high school. He was just really, and so how did he do all this math stuff? The finance stuff. How did he figure all this stuff out? He got a job at Goldman Sachs and he did not have any kind of college degree, let alone a college degree in finance or economy.
Yeah.
And he had been hired as a high-level math teacher for a high school by William Barr's dad well before that. He parlayed that gig into working for Goldman Sachs. How do you go from being a high school teacher to working at Goldman Sachs?
So he was a very brilliant man.
He was.
He's just as corrupt as he was brilliant. Just as perverse as he was brilliant. So
Yeah.
That's right.
And from what I understand, a snake charmer extraordinaire.
Yeah. Yeah. The manipulation off the charts, just off the charts.
And when you put him and Dumpy together.
Oh. Well, as they say, it was magic.
Yeah.
It was so special.
That old black magic.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So now it's almost been an hour and a half. I think we've solved the world's problems, don't you?
Pretty close.
Well, and they've given a lot of advice to Sherry about how to deal with those leg cramps. I'm saying go with Gatorade and bananas and see if that helps.
I have RLS, restless leg syndrome, and I take medication for it every night. But when I take the medicine, I have to be horizontal within about 20 minutes or I'm out. And so every now and again when I get a flare up, I just got to stand up and do little leg exercises and whatnot to get the muscles to stop spasming.
Oh, I hate that.
It's painful more than anything else.
Yeah, it is very painful. Yeah, I've had those. It's very, very painful. Well, I would look in the comments at all of their little suggestions because that's not your medication, so it's not going to require you to go horizontal right away. But also,
I've tried everything they've listed so far. I do that. Yeah, I do that. Yeah, I do that too. So trust me.
I say just have a bag of potato chips and some Gatorade and call it a day. You know, that salt and all the other electrolytes, that helps. There you go, right? Yep. That's the way you do it. That's the way you do it.
My chips are right there by my desk. So
somebody else told me whose mom did a lot of homeopathy said sour pickles are really good for the pain and discomfort.
I can't stand pickles.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so that's fine. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Just amazing information in the chat and questions. Just really, really good. Sherry, I'm going to let you go because I know you're not comfortable, but thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. At least I wasn't falling asleep on you.
That's right. But thank you for your backstage work, your working on the comments and all that stuff. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you so much for being here. Happy New Year with all your stuff. And I hope that you are able to just sit back and put your legs up a little bit now that the holidays are kind of over. And I love you both. And we'll see all you guys later on the next PoliTarology.
Okay,
everybody.
Happy New Year. Bye.
Happy New Year. Bye. See you.